Market is in a very interesting spot right now, and in this video I'm going to cover what might happen and also how I'm being positioned right now. I'm going to show you a little bit of my portfolio, talk also what I'm doing. Just to cut it short, basically I'm trying to stable a little bit, but also looking for the dips to buy, and I keep on adding Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, of course the major ones, but also looking at Dogecoin, which I'm playing a little bit on leverage on MEXC. So far so good, especially with the recent pump, because we have some good news. I'm going to explain to you the scenarios. One is for the continuation of the bull, and the other is for the bear market, the total end of everything, because both scenarios can happen. And if anyone talks to you about the the certainty that this will go to all new time highs, then you have to take a moment, step back, and basically listen to someone else. The best thing you can do when it comes to trading is think in probabilities. Never listen to one person, have different viewpoints, and also do your own research. Also, nothing here is financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all your capital, so you have to be careful about that. Now, having said that, what we have seen just yesterday was Trump announcing strategic reserves. To a certain extent, we don't know the form yet. That basically allowed this initial pump here. If you look at all the coins here on the right, you can see that every possible coin got this little pump, even though just a couple of coins were mentioned. But in particular, Cardano and XRP were mentioned by name, plus Solana. So I think that was the hardest pump here, especially with Cardano going in a moment to like 50% the value, 50% up. So that was pretty crazy. But also we have seen that with everything. Even Ethereum pumped a little bit if you look at that. So that was pretty great. So on the one hand side, we have this great news, great regulatory framework for crypto going forward, institutions coming along the way with ETFs and so on. That makes everything interesting. But on the other hand, we have the market that is definitely overbought for some time. There were a lot of people taking more and more risks. A lot of things were happening, especially with different meme coin launches. People get tired of that, of different cabals playing along the play, and a lot of meme coins went down quite a lot. So if we go to the bullx, which is my favorite platform for trading meme coins, and for example go with things like Fartcoin, one of the top coins just recently that touched basically $3 billion. Right now it's at $300 million, which went down 90% down. By the way, you can see all those smiles. This is Ansem, for example, buying and selling. And if you follow any wallets, you'll be able to do the same. bullx has this great feature of having wallet trackers. And so if you track any kind of wallets, you'll be able to see them directly whenever they buy, but also, for example, whenever they sell. And you can see that Ansem was just buying recently with or selling. Maybe we're going to see that. No, he's actually buying here. As you can see on the chart. So that's pretty cool if you're trying to copy trade anyone. Anyway, my favorite tool definitely for trading meme coins on Solana. So if you're doing that, definitely check it out. Now, what I was saying is that meme coins went down 90%, even more in certain cases. Super risky. Even the strongest meme coins went down, like Doc with Hat, which was at like $5 billion, $4 billion and something, went down to like 700 million right now and was touching at $500 million, which is pretty crazy considering that, this is one of the most well-known meme coins right now. So many people interested in it, but everyone was de-risking, meaning selling, basically. So you have to beware with all the things that are happening, right? It touches on 5 billion. There's a lot of things happening, but on the other hand, we're going to see many new opportunities in the market, especially that we're going to might be getting into interesting period. Of course, that depends on what's happening forward. Currently, if we go back to the macro and think about that, because everything depends on the macro in a way that we are looking for how Bitcoin will play out in the end, and whether we're going to see any kind of continuation of the action, or that's it, and that was the top for this cycle and we're going down, which is possible. I think it's 50-50 at this point. 50% that we keep on going up, 50% on keep on basically entering the bear market. It all depends on how we compare that to 2021, because in 2021 you had this two tops, and something similar actually happened in previous cycles, but we can't see it because of the scale. But I'm going to discuss that on this example, and I'm going to show you here what's happening with 2021 in comparison. So in 2021, we got all-time high in April 2021 that basically went to like 70, I think $63,000, and then we went down to $30,000. So Bitcoin basically was halved, 50% down. People were basically talking about the bear market, that's the end, and so on. But actually, Bitcoin has risen to all-time high yet again, and that was closer to $70,000. And that happened within the next month because basically this awful price action was happening over the summer. Usually, those are the months that are pretty hardcore when it comes to trading because a lot of people are de-risking and going away. And there's this saying sell in May and go away, and basically you should even sell it before that. And now the all-time high was by the end of 2021, and then we had the bear market, especially with basically the end of different funds, the Luna, FTX, and so on. You probably know the story. Now, what's happening right now, that we have probability for two scenarios similar to one. The one scenario is that we're basically with this first all-time high here. We are basically the current scenario. We are February 2021. We going down, but this won't be the end. We probably have a really bad price action until something like September, maybe August, and then we're going to retrieve and get the all-time high for Bitcoin. That might be like 150, 180, who knows? But that will be something like that, if I were to guess. But there's another scenario, meaning that we actually had that already period. That period was already in 2024 in May. And the current all-time high is basically the second hill here, the second up, meaning that after this was the top, we're going down, and we're going to go into the bear market. Both scenarios are probable. Both depends on like what will happen with the global economy, because you on one hand have tariffs that are not really liked by business right now. Bitcoin especially really depends on the global macro and whether, for example, we have some kind of the easing, maybe stimulus, people will get something, or maybe the economic scenario will be hard. It really depends on a lot of things that I do not understand myself correctly, because there's a lot of macro data and there's a lot of things happening. You have all the wars happening as well that might influence the price, because you have to remember Bitcoin as well as all the crypto are risky assets, and especially when people are at risk, the capital is at risk, they tend to fly, they tend to sell, and they tend to look for stable things like stable coins. So we don't know. Having said that, you have to plan accordingly, meaning that you have to have some stables. I think, in my opinion, I'm trying to have stables. If we were to deploy, anyway, right now we are in a downtrend for sure. We just don't know whether there's going to be a bottom, whether that's the bottom, or we're going even more down. So you have to plan accordingly to that. And having said that, I'm of course buying some meme coins because meme coins are great, and I think some of them will be coming back, especially after so much of the price action going down. So for example, things like Mumu, which I think at the top was like $200 million, 250, right? And right now you have it at $10 million, even though it's super popular still on Twitter. And people are memeing that, so that's pretty cool one. So I think that's one thing that I'm looking at. There are a couple of other meme coins that I'm looking, like, of course, Lock-in from the Murat's list, as well as Sigma, Fartcoin, which might come back at some point. Doge AI is a pretty interesting new one, which basically is the AI automated coin for all the things related to Department of Government Efficiency. Definitely worth checking out. I was already buying and selling that before that. As you can see, managed to get quite a nice PNL here, as you can see from my portfolio, and I'm rebuying it right now. And one of my new favorites is Small Pepe, which I think is pretty cool, and I think that might be the analog for Pepe on Solana, but we'll see where it goes. As you can see, Ansem, for example, bought that one and sold pretty quickly with a small loss of 30k. Well, that happens, but the coin is definitely interesting. I bought a little bit and probably will keep on rebuying. So I think that's one thing. So that's my current portfolio. I'm trying to make it super small as well, no more than 5 10 positions maybe at some point. I had definitely too many coins and was starting to sell it out in order to have a more focused portfolio that I can observe on a daily basis. On the other hand, I'm playing with majors, as I've mentioned, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, a little bit of Doge on perps, mostly on MEXC. Also looking at other things like Sweep and the new ones. I like the new ones, meaning Bera chain especially. Bera chain is definitely, well, right now everything is down a little bit, but Bera chain is behaving really well, especially in the past couple of days with the, especially from the launch. You know, the launch wasn't really great. Went down right away from $13 to like $5, and then it back to like 8, 9, which is pretty cool. And there are really good farms for DeFi. If you have stable coins, then you can go to Bera chain, and there are really interesting projects there. Same goes with Sonic. I think Sonic will be coming back as well at some point. There's really great tech behind the token, behind the blockchain. That was formerly Phantom. They did an upgrade to Sonic, and I think it's really great right now. Super speed, Ethereum, EVM, L1. And there are many interesting stuff. I probably do a separate video just about Sonic. I have a separate video about Bera chain, but I'm going to do probably a joint video about Sonic, Bera chain, and how you can farm stables, because I think that's very interesting. Anyway, going back to the main thing, we don't know where it goes. You have to be careful. Crypto is risky. You have to remember that you can lose all your capital, so nothing here is financial advice. And having said that, I really mean it, because we are right now at this juncture. We don't know where it goes from here. And you should be ready for the scenario where it goes down quite a lot, because there's so much uncertainty in the world, and it can go quite a lot down. So if you think about that, if you think the current prices are really great, think about that they can halve. And what will you do then? You should have at least some capital to be able to beat it. Of course, what can happen is that we're trying to find the bottom. The bottom is nearby, and it will retrieve the price action once everything stabilizes. That's possible as well. For now, this is everything. Watch my other videos where I review different protocols and talk about the market, as well as different meme coins. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.